Hey, what is going on, everybody? I am Boxman. This is Wrestling Outlet. I am not sure if Smart told me he needed today off or not. I can't remember. I got to be honest. I've drank since 2024. It's been a year, folks. It's been a year. 2024 is gone, folks. 2025 is here. We've already had the first Dynamite of 2025. They also wrapped up with a pretty good pay per view. I thought I watched World's End. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I'm hoping this is all working because I'm not used to using StreamYard myself. So hopefully it's working. I've got some audio over here recording just in case this didn't work. It looks like it's working. As far as I can tell, it is. Give me a second. I can actually make sure. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's working to me. I'm looking at myself. So to me, it looks like it's working. So, all right, folks, let's just keep going. If Smart comes on in, I'll work that out, I guess. I guess I'll have to work that out if Smart comes on in here. But yeah, folks, it has been pretty good. I had a nice quiet New Year's Eve. I'm actually going to get a beer. I had a quiet New Year's Eve. I hope you guys had a happy and safe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But I had a quiet one. Mine was pretty quiet. I kind of just we don't do much New Year's Eve. We actually usually do like a lunch on New Year's Day. Did the same thing this year. We relaxed and drank. Me and the wife drank on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, yesterday, I deep fried a turkey for lunch. Took 4 Tupperwares to put it away. But hey, it's put away. Yeah, it took 4 Tupperwares to get the turkey put away. It was a 21-pound turkey. It wasn't a small turkey. And, my daughter doesn't eat turkey, so it was just 4 of us here. But we have plenty of turkey left. I had it for lunch, and I'll probably have it for a snack tonight before I go to bed. Then we did burgers for dinner. But we don't usually do much on New Year's Eve. I'll tell you the truth. Since I've gotten older, it's just kind of faded out. I just really don't do anything on New Year's Eve. I find there's a lot of people out there that just want to start trouble. I don't like doing all that. I don't really need these headphones either, folks. I'm gonna take those off. I just find that there's a lot of people out there who just kind of don't care about anybody else. So easier for me to just stay home with the family on New Year's Eve. It's safe that way. You don't need to go out and have a bunch of drunks out there with us. So I just stayed home. So I don't know. Hope everybody else had a really good holiday though. And like I said, we'll talk a little bit of wrestling tonight. I do have some other stuff to talk about besides just AEW. Truthfully, folks, if you haven't noticed, WWE is hiding a lot of their news. A lot of their stuff is kayfabe that's out there that you find. So I don't get a lot of the WWE news anymore, but seems to be just fine. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit. Let me shrink this down. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit of AEW World's End really quickly. We'll go ahead and do that. Don't need to get into everything. There were some really good things on this match. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, this whole Continental Classic was bullshit the way they did this. Folks, they told a story from the first match to the last match of World's End. And Will Ospreay was that story. He bled like that in the first match for a reason. So he would have a reason to lose. He wasn't at 100%. He was falling over when he was coming in for the last match with Okada. I know a lot of people didn't care for Okada to win. A lot of people thought Ricochet needed the win. But I kind of see where they went with this, and I see where they're going with this. So I like this. I like this. This first match, though, was great between Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. I thought it was a really, really impressive match between these two guys. I'm actually scrolling through the pay-per-view real quick as we're talking about it. Thought it was a great match between these guys, a long match between these guys. Ospreay was bleeding, Fletcher was bleeding. But honestly, I thought it was a great match. And, the arena was full. So it looked great and it sounded much better um, than what their usual shows have been sounding like. But this was really a great match to kick off this show with. And right after that match, we jumped right into Ricochet versus Okada. And another great match here between these two, with Okada pulling out a victory. But two great matches to kick off World's End, I thought, on Saturday. And I got to tell you, last week, I completely forgot World's End was happening, which is why we didn't even do predictions. We completely forgot about it. So I honestly, I just forgot. It was a tough week last week, so I forgot. But here we go. Little more. This match was really good, though, between Ricochet and Okada, with Okada, like I said, sneaking out a win. Swerve came down, talked a little shit to Ricochet, which, again, people are all over this Ricochet thing. No one likes this Ricochet thing. Folks, this is an Andrew Tate type gimmick. He's just a douchebag, a delusional douchebag. I hope you're figuring this out, because that's the story. And as we saw last night, there was a little culmination to this storyline, but we'll save that. We're talking World's End right now. And folks, I'm still going to check and see if Smark's around. I don't know if he's sick, but I'm going to keep checking my messenger to see if he's answered me by any chance. So far, he has not. I would get a notification if he was. So, but I will keep checking, finding out what's going on. But so as we go through this, though, we'll go ahead and go to the next match. But like I said, Nana threw everybody toilet paper to throw on to Ricochet. It was great, and Ricochet just sat there with this angry, pissed off look on his face while everyone's laughing at him, basically. Good promo backstage by Will Ospreay, bleeding Renee Paquette. Wow. I don't care. Renee Paquette, gorgeous. But a good promo by Ricochet. Then we had this Thunder Rosa Mariah May match, which I thought was a pretty good match. Thunder Rosa, I thought, looked great. Mariah May always looks great. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl, and she knows it, which helps and probably doesn't help in both ways. But she is great, I think, as champion. But her and Thunder Rosa had a good match. Again, another match with a little bit of blood, not a ton. I wasn't expecting to see a ton of blood in this match, and there wasn't. But there were some thumbtacks in this match, barbed wire. It was a street fight. It was a good street fight between these two girls. You can go ahead and say there wasn't a big buildup. I get that. There really wasn't. They didn't do much buildup to this match. Mariah May is messing with her father, Thunder Rosa's father, who literally, you can't tell under the mustache, but I think he was smiling the whole time, having the best time of his life, having this beautiful young girl yell at him. I'm sure it made him, it's a weird habit. But Mariah May retains her title, and it ended up being a pretty good match, actually. Not great, but not a bad match. Then we go right into this MJF match against MJF and Adam Cole. I'll tell you, they haven't done very good with MJF since he's been back. I'll be honest with you. I see the change coming after last night, after the promo he cut after this match where he won this match. After this match, we did see the reuniting of the Undisputed Era minus Bobby Fish, but I don't think he's getting out of his TNA contract. So I don't think Bobby Fish is going to be joining us anytime soon, folks. But this MJF versus Adam Cole match actually was a good match. Again, we had more blood in this match. Folks, it's World's End. The world is coming to an end. A little blood isn't bad. Both these guys look like they did the Ric Flair right on the hairline, so they don't have the forehead scars. It looked like they got themselves on on the hairline right there, both of them. The old Ric Flair way used to love doing that. Used to look so good in that white hair, bleach blonde hair. It was a very good match between these two, though. You really thought Adam Cole could have pulled out a win here. Maybe he should have pulled out a win here, to be honest, folks. But MJF did retain. There was a lot of fuckery in the match with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but MJF ended up pulling out a win at the end there. But yeah, MJF kept attacking Adam Cole, and we saw the reuniting of Undisputed Era on the show. That wasn't the only reunite or comeback on this show. There was actually a couple comebacks on this show. Now, I got to tell you, folks, this match surprised me. This was Takeshita versus Will Hobbs. You know, we look at Takeshita. I look at Takeshita, and I don't see this monster of a human being. But I got to tell you, him in there with Hobbs, Takeshita is deceivingly large. He is a big dude. So I wasn't expecting this kind of Haas match we had between these guys, but I'll be damned. I loved every fucking minute of this match, folks. I love that they're actually doing something with Hobbs finally. Whether he won this match or not, it was great seeing these two guys in the fucking ring together. Just didn't expect to see this kind of match. We had Don Callis down there on commentary. But I really thought this was a great match between these two guys. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it. Takeshita's a great wrestler. I like Hobbs, but again, I don't look at Takeshita as this monster of a man. But then he's in there with Hobbs, and he doesn't look like some fucking midget. I mean, he doesn't. He looks like he can hold his own, and I thought he did hold his own. I thought it was a really good match between all these guys, these two big guys, and I thought they made it work for him. After that match, folks, we had, let me scroll a little bit here. Sorry. After that match, we had the little quick Okada interview. And then we had Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné. Folks, the crowd was a little dead for this one, I thought. But definitely the best Mercedes Moné match we've seen since she came to AEW. Chris Statlander, and again, I gave her props last week. It seems like she's the one that can pull the good matches out of a lot of people. So the common denominator, once again, Chris Statlander, went out there and gave her a great match. I would throw the belt on Statlander soon. Absolutely, I would put that TBS title on Chris Statlander soon. She needs something. I would put any title on her. She needs something to carry. The crowd loves her. They are into her. And I think she needs a title right now. I really think it would put her a little more over, but I think Chris Statlander could use some gold around her waist 100%. Definitely, like I said, was a good match between these two. Thought it flowed very well. Thought these two put on just a really good. It was a long match. They made history with how long the match was, but great match between the two either way. Then we've got this Will Ospreay Okada match, and this match again, Will Ospreay selling the injuries from the first match, selling the fact that he's a little lightheaded. You know, he puts his hand down and he kind of falls over a little bit like, oh man, I don't know if I can make it through the match. I thought him and Okada put on a great match between these guys. And then Okada wins. Christopher Daniels comes down and he's like, listen, usually I'm the guy that come down and I hand you the title, but I'm not going to do that because as of tonight, I'm not the EVP. So who comes out, folks? Kenny Omega comes out. The crowd is loving it. They knew the music when it hit. Kenny Omega comes down, hands the belt to Omega. Now we see there's tension there, which we definitely got a taste of last night too in the promo. But now we go to this main event, folks. It's a four-way match. It's Orange Cassidy, it's Hangman Adam Page, Jay White, all versus John Moxley. This is for the title. The match goes AEW loves these clusterfucks, folks. They just do. Listen, I like AEW, but they do love their clusterfucks, and this was another clusterfuck. The match did go over well. I had no problems with the way the match was with John Moxley winning or retaining. I think a lot of people would have liked to have seen Orange Cassidy maybe take the belt right now. A lot of people are clamoring for Darby Allin to take the belt from Moxley, and I still say that's a mistake. I wouldn't put my belt on a guy that might die in fucking April. I just wouldn't do it. It's just not something I would do, folks. If I was a promoter, I wouldn't do it. If I was Tony Khan, I wouldn't do it. If I was Triple H, I don't think he would do it. I don't think anybody would want their belt on someone that could leave a very bad taste in everyone's mouth, to say the least, come April if he does not make it up and down Mount Everest. Mount Everest. So I don't know, folks. I think a lot of people would like to see the belt on Orange Cassidy for a while, but Moxley did retain here. This was another bloody match. Actually, Moxley was bleeding from the back of his head. He didn't blade the back of his head, so he was bleeding from where they put him through a table shield style. But we're going. The match finally ends. Boy, the crowd lost their shit when Jay White hit Marina Shafir with the switchblade. Holy fuck, this crowd loved them some fucking man-on-woman violence. They loved it. But then again, she's kind of been asking for it. This is kind of, so it's wrestling, folks. But yeah, we end up with with John Moxley retaining. And we get the Death Riders coming in. They're beating down Jay White. And then we get FTR, and then their music switches to rated FTR, and Adam Copeland returns. It's funny. A lot of people are complaining. His name is Cope. What's Cope? Well, Cope is something me and Smart talked about on October 7th or 6th on the show, because they had trademarked the name Cope. And I believe Cope with Copeland was the name of the show, folks. So we knew this was coming. We knew the Cope name was coming. But Christian's reaction to Adam Copeland coming back, I thought was great. A lot of people not happy with this. Oh, what, a 50-plus-year-old man comes back? And then The Rock comes back, and they're over there in the fucking corner jerking off. So listen, folks. Edge can still, or Adam Copeland can still fucking go. Cope, I don't give a shit what his fucking name is. We knew this was going to happen. So, maybe for one, we were way ahead of the curve on that one, because I have a weird thing. I like to look at the trademarks. And they had trademarked that back in October, and then he got hurt. So obviously he needed some time off. Obviously we wrapped up 2024. I thought we wrapped up 2024 with a really good AEW pay-per-view, folks. I really did. I saw no problem with it. I thought it was a very enjoyable pay-per-view from top to bottom. I like that the Continental Classic culminates right before the end of the year. I think it's great. I think it's a good time to put on a tournament like that, because a lot of people are concentrating on holidays this month. Traveling, going to mamas, going to grandmas, going here, going there. So that's what a lot of people are more worried about. They're not worried about getting into storylines and doing that shit. So I think this is a great time to have a tournament. The fact that it wrapped up right at the end of the year, even better. But I thought we wrapped up the year with a good pay-per-view from AEW, folks. So there you go. That was World's End. I thought it was really a good pay-per-view, like I said. Let me just take a second here. Get a couple of my vices in here. A quick puff of the vape and a quick drink to get the throat not so dry. There we go. So I usually wait to the end to talk Dynamite, but since we just talked World's End, I think it makes sense. We'll jump into Dynamite, then we'll get into some news, and then we'll wrap up for 2025's first show, folks. I'm very excited for this year. Like I said, I was a little worried about where our viewership was going, where everything was going. But when I looked at our Wrapped for the end of the year, I was very pleased and actually pleasantly surprised. And once again, thanks to everybody who found us this year. Thanks to everybody who's listening to the show. We did grow a pretty good percent last year, and I really appreciate that. Still want to get some more live listeners, folks. I know maybe if I was more active on social media, maybe if I did this, maybe if I did that, maybe if I didn't drink on the show, I don't know. Maybe a few things. You guys have any suggestions what I need to do? Tell me. I don't care. I'll do it. If I shouldn't drink, if I shouldn't vape, whatever. I don't care. But I'd like to get more live listeners. I'd like to get some subscriptions to the channel. So if you guys have not create a new account, subscribe, so we can get this bad boy to 100. I wouldn't mind starting to get some super chats going in, help us out a little bit, because come July, we'll have a few payments coming up on this thing. If I got to take care of it, so be it. I don't care. But let's go ahead and get into a little bit. And you know, I heard, just to throw this out there, I heard JD's whole rant, his fucking screaming and fucking yelling and losing his shit over the Continental Classic. This means nothing now. You fucked everything up, blah, blah, blah. Folks, I'm sorry. That guy just fucking yells and screams. Someone even told him stop watching that, and he goes, and lose the chance to make money off their fuck ups. Folks, he's telling you right up front, he's just looking to make money off you. I don't think he believes half of his rants. I think he's just another fucking New Yorker that likes to go on and yell and scream about nothing. Absolutely nothing. They make a big deal over shit. They get everyone all riled up because they have so many fucking listeners. And folks, I know I'm a small little piece of shit podcast. I'm not trying to start fights with anybody, or that's not how I'm trying to get known or anything. I don't give a shit. I like being a small podcast. I can say something stupid and no one will fucking come at me. And if they do, fuck yourself. I don't care. I really don't. I'm too old for that shit at this point. I'm almost 50 at this point. I don't care. But I just think those guys are making a big deal about fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing. Fucking JD screaming and yelling, Don Tony screaming and yelling about fucking nothing. The only one who has any professionalism and comes at this with a fucking clear lens is Solomonster, the other New Yorker who can actually speak professionally and, you know, put words together. He doesn't ask you a question. He doesn't have ideas. So anyway, I don't know why I did that, because I got no one here to fucking stop me. That's why. Anyway, let's get into this AEW Dynamite a little bit. I really thought Dynamite was a great show too. It was Fight for the Fallen from Asheville, North Carolina. This was for the victims of Hurricane Helena that struck that Western North Carolina area pretty bad. I mean, there were bridges washed out, people stuck in their homes that couldn't leave or couldn't come home. So it was a rough time over there. But they did a Fight for the Fallen. And, you know, I saw a lot of people like, gee, at least these guys care about the troops. WWE just canceled the tribute to the troops. Well, I understand why they did that. But This isn't Fight for the Fallen isn't about the troops, folks. It's for different causes. So anyway, we kick off the show with Okada walking in, and we get folks. I'll admit it. The worst part about the show was that fucking opening. Why open with "I'm so excited"? Please don't do this. I'm hoping that was a one-off because look, I like the song. It's great in Beverly Hills Cop. Oh no, wait, that's Neutron Dance. Wrong song. Same band, same group, Pointer Sisters. That was stupid to use that as a theme song. I think they should have come in with something a little heavier, little fucking heavy metal, something we can sink our fucking teeth into, something we can get right into. Yeah, fucking wrestling. No, we got. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. No, I'm good. I'm good on that, folks. But anyway, we get Okada walking in. Moxley's cutting a promo in the beginning of the show, of course, because that's how they've been starting out. But right after, we get rated FTR and Adam Copeland is doing all the talking. But this show started off with Orange Cassidy against Hangman Adam Page. And I'm liking the slowly more serious side of Orange Cassidy. I still find Hangman Adam TA a little annoying. The gimmick doesn't work on him, folks. I'm sorry. He doesn't look like a cowboy. This is not what I mean, I guess a cowboy could look like him, but what does he do that's cowboy shit? Y'all watch Yellowstone? Does he do any cowboy shit? He rode a fucking horse once. Oh, wow. That ain't cowboy shit. That ain't cowboy shit. I grew up around fucking rodeo riders. I know fucking cowboy shit. When I see it, that ain't it. But anyway, good match to start the show out with. Orange Cassidy has a habit of starting out Dynamites. He started off a bunch at the beginning of the January of 2024. He started out a shitload of matches, and then it kind of died down a little bit. But he's back to starting them off again. I guess we got to kick off 2025 the right way with Orange Cassidy. But this was a pretty decent match between these two guys. I just really don't care for the Hangman Adam Page gimmick. I just don't think it's right. I just don't think it's right on him. But anyway, Page gets the win, I believe. Let me make sure of that. He does. Page gets the win and keeps the beating going on Orange Cassidy. Christopher Daniels runs out. It's like, what the fuck? Last week, I'm your friend. I'm the only one you've got. Then Page knocks him out here. Beats the shit out of him. This is a little nonsensical. Then Jay White cuts a promo backstage. Now, folks, we're obviously seeing some tension here with the Acclaimed. I got a feeling they're going to have a little split coming up. So I guess we'll see what happens. I got a feeling this will all culminate at Revolution coming up soon. But we shall see. We shall see. May even end sooner. It might even just end on a fucking Dynamite. But we go backstage and we got Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, and Bowens is like, look, did you hit me with the belt purposely or not? Bowens says no. Or Caster says, no, I didn't. Well, they go down. They're having the match. Match is going okay, but Caster keeps tagging himself in. And the match is against Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, MVP out there. The Lashley and Benjamin just look fucking great out there together, single, whatever. But these guys are out there. Match is going. And like I said, Caster keeps tagging himself in, blind tagging Anthony Bowens. And next thing you know, Caster's in the ring. He's caught in a fucking hurt lock. And Anthony Bowens doesn't do shit. He says, well, I'm not going to fucking deal with, I'm not going to partner with a selfish asshole. And they kind of walk out. So there's definitely a lot of tension happening between these guys. MVP on commentary is great. I like MVP. I just like MVP on commentary or wherever he is. Then they had another Swerve segment backstage, which I thought was actually a good segment backstage with him and Prince Nana. Nana wished us a happy new year. Swerve kept going on Ricochet. Now we had the return match for Julia Hart, which it was her and Jamie Hayter. Boy, Jamie Hayter looks good. I'm sorry. I like me some Jamie Hayter. Julia Hart looked great also. Ended the match with a little black mist to the face. It wasn't enough mist to where we could even see it. The ref didn't see it. No one saw it. It wasn't even on Jamie Hayter's face. But that's how this match ended. Mariah May gets the win Julia Hart gets the win with a little bit of mist to the face. But it was good seeing her back. Good seeing her back finally. And I think this feud definitely continues. This will definitely be something that culminates over at Revolution with maybe some sort of street fight or some sort of dark match. Dirk says he tries, but he can't get into Julia Hart. Now, listen, if you could get into Julia Hart, I think you'd be into Julia Hart. But listen, I get it, man. Some people, some characters just aren't for everybody. I'll tell you the truth. I like Julia Hart, but I like Jamie Hayter better. And I mean, it's not even a great character with her. I think she's great in the ring. I like her wrestling. I like what she does. But Julia Hart, I think the character building has been good with her. I mean, you got to remember this girl came from being this fucking cheerleader for Brian Pillman Jr. and the other fucking guy who I forgot already. And now she's got this great gimmick that she's pulling off pretty well, I think. So, listen, I get it. Not every gimmick is for everybody, but I think she's going to do well. And that's the way it goes, man. You're not going to like everything on the show. Just the way it goes. Like I said, I think Hangman TA is a joke. Guy is as much of a cowboy as I'm more of a cowboy than he is. I guarantee it. That may sound weird being the Jewish guy, but I guarantee I can ride a horse better than him. I've ridden a saddle bronc before, a few of them. I guarantee I'm more cowboy than that motherfucker is. Anyway, we get a little Kenny Omega because we got Kenny Omega returning. Kenny Omega and Okada still have a little tension between them, so they're going to settle it. Not sure where. Then, folks, here's the one bad thing about Camille not being with Mercedes Moné. We have to listen to Mercedes Moné. So I am not the Persian. Shaheen was the Persian. I'm the Jew. Are we going back that far? Seriously? I mean, it's cool, but I got no issues with Shaheen, man. I got no problems with him. I don't think he has any problems with me. He may not. I don't know. Good guy either way. I don't know if he's still doing art. I know he's still over there on Spitball Media, so check him out over there. But anyway, now we got to hear Mercedes Moné speak, which I'd rather just hear nails on a chalkboard, not fingernails, actual nails you could put on a chalkboard. I'd rather hear more than Mercedes Moné, to be honest with you folks. So I don't know, but she's out there bitching and moaning about something. I really honestly stopped listening. She had a couple videos. No one gave a shit. No one fucking gave a shit. But then they did really dumb thing they did here. They're trying to introduce these first responders. I don't know about you, but I couldn't see them. I never saw their faces. They had it dark, and they never brought up the lights for these guys. I don't know if that was a timing issue or what, but they should have given these guys another chance when the cameraman said I never got their face lit up. I mean, every few seconds, one of the spotlights would fly by them, but they never got their faces lit up. And honestly, I thought it was a little disrespectful that they didn't go back and take that shot again with the crowd lit up. The crowd was not empty. They did not need to cover anything here. They could have let this go, is what I'm saying. This definitely could have let this go. They could have lit up the crowd a lot more for this. Then we see old Dax Harwood handing out checks to people, and they're hugging them. Yeah, you give me 25 grand, I'll fucking hug the guy. But there we see Dax over there handing out checks for the Hurricane Helene victims. Good stuff there. Then we see backstage, we get the Undisputed Era. Roddy is going to be in competition tonight. Thank God Kyle O'Reilly is not, because he has bags under his eyes, folks. He has duffel bags. I mean, looks like he didn't sleep it looks like he hasn't slept since fucking World's End. Holy shit. Look, my glasses cover mine a little bit, but I mean, I got him too, but Jesus. He looks like death. Like death. So Roderick Strong comes out for his match. It's against Swerve. And it's going well. Actually, it's Roderick Strong, Swerve, and Jay White is who the match is. All three of them back and forth, going at it in the ring. Finally, the match is almost. I think the match is almost over. Swerve's about to get a good win here, and we see Ricochet come down. And yeah, exactly. Dirk's like, something's going on with O'Reilly. Yeah, it's like fucking cocaine. Maybe him and Tony share a ride. I don't know. But Swerve is about to get this, and Ricochet we see down there. He's got this suit on, powder blue suit, white shirt, and it looks like he borrowed a pair of the Acclaimed scissors. They're gold scissors in his hand. He comes down and gets Swerve right in the head, gouges Swerve pretty bad. After that, Swerve is down there, and my son is in his other room, in the other room behind me, yelling. Swerve is down. He's bleeding pretty bad. And next thing you know, actually, Jay White ended up winning that match. I apologize, because Swerve was out. So Swerve is on the ground, and Ricochet comes out and is just splitting him open more. And what I thought looked great is Ricochet has this white button-down shirt on, kind of like when the Young Bucks came down in the white suits. Same concept. Ricochet's got this white shirt with the blood all over it. He's covered in blood, and he turned absolutely full heel here. He is, but he still walked away laughing, folks. Folks, he is just a delusional asshole. And I think he's going to be very good. I think he's going to be one of the bigger heels in this company if he pulls this off. And I think he can. I do think he can. I think this proved it right here. But he just went at him with the scissors. He even he pulled him on Nana. Nana's like, you pull a knife on me, bitch? I'm from New York. Fuck, I had a knife pulled on me before, motherfucker. That ain't shit. That's not a knife. So, but yeah, we got that with Ricochet. I thought it was a great segment. We had, the Undisputed Era come down there and help out Swerve, which I thought was a little weird, but hey. Then we got this thing. We're backstage with Jeff Jarrett and the crew. Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh, Alex Marvez is with them. And they're talking. Jeff, do you really want to do this? It's a big night. So Jeff Jarrett. Then we see Karen, who needs to stop the plastic surgery on her face. I'll just say that. Please stop it. But she's back there and talking to Jeff. And then finally we get to Jeff. Well, after that, we get a Mariah May segment. She was great in this little backstage segment. Then Jeff Jarrett comes out. And we think he's going to retire, and he doesn't. But he says, no, I want to hold that AEW title. One more run with it, buddy. I need that AEW championship. And I'm like, oh, God. Look, folks, I'm a Jeff Jarrett fan. Smart figured it out because I'm a character actor guy. I like the character actors in a lot of movies. I like talking about those character actors. Jeff Jarrett is definitely a character actor. I don't know if I want Jeff Jarrett carrying the AEW title, folks. Even for one more run. I tag team titles I'm good with. Maybe he can join someone. They can do a tag team. Maybe him and Jay Lethal. Great tag team. There's championship for him. But now we're gonna have to watch and see if Jeff Jarrett does this. See, a lot of people don't like this Mox thing. I'm going to get into that in a little while, actually. I'm going to get into that whole Mox thing and Moxley thing in a little while. I'm almost done here. I don't have much of AEW. But Jeff Jarrett, folks, wants to hold that title one more time. The last outlaw, one more time with the title. So we'll see what happens there, folks. We got a Hook promo backstage, or not backstage. We got a Hook video. Then we get Powerhouse Hobbs. He's doing the Ryback thing. He's kind of squashing two guys at once. Norab, what's going on, bro? Hope you're having a good start to your new year, both you and Dirk. Hope you guys are having a great new year already. But yeah, Hobbs is doing the Ryback squash match thing. Whatever. I like him better. Then we got Big Bill and Brian Lee or whatever his name, and Brian Keith backstage. And they start talking shit to FTR, who now we have a match on, I think it's Collision with those guys because they have a match tonight anyway. We also got a quick in memoriam of Sweet Daddy Siki, who I believe passed away just yesterday, folks. I forgot to mention that. But Sweet Daddy Siki, 1933 to 2024. Wow. That's a long time, folks. That's a good life, especially for a wrestler. That's a very long life for a wrestler. Then we got this MJF promo I talked about. MJF loves cutting these promos right after his matches on pay-per-views. Then he likes to cut these promos all sweaty and bloody and right after the match. And they air him next week. This is not the first time he's done this. It won't be the last time he's done this. I guarantee that too. But it was a good promo. And now he's going after Moxley. So, of course, now we get Moxley out there. And this is a 3-on-3. It's rated FTR against the Death Riders, Moxley, Yuta, and Claudio. And the match actually went pretty well. I actually enjoyed the match. Claudio was just a fucking beast. I mean, let's just be honest. Claudio's a fucking badass. At one point, I think Jay White was trying to do a suicide dive, and Claudio just clocked his ass. It was timed so fucking well. It was perfect. I liked it. Actually, no, it was Wheeler. Cash Wheeler, not Wheeler Yuta. It was Cash Wheeler who went for the dive and got clocked, but this match ended up being a pretty good match. Actually, I enjoyed it. Cope. Everyone, no one. I'm telling you, man, me and Smart talked about this name back in October when they trademarked it. We knew this was coming. We knew, but rated FTR, of course, on this show, Fight for the Fallen. These are the hometown boys. They were definitely going to take this win on this show. And they did. They did end up taking the win just like they should have. And I thought Dynamite was pretty good. Once again, the arena was pretty full. If they're really talking about, doing smaller venues, I think it'll help the show in a lot of ways. Yeah, I actually think rated FTR is worse than Cope. I told you we knew the Cope name was coming. We named the show Cope with Copeland. We totally knew this was on the way, folks. Totally. So, all right, folks. I'm gonna get into what little bit of news I've got. I really don't have that much news to be honest with you guys. And then hey, if it's another short show this week, it's another short show this week. But I was not expecting I was expecting Smart to be here. I don't remember if he told me he wasn't going to be here. It's very possible he told me he wouldn't be here this week. So I'm not going to be all over him about anything, but he might have told me. It's very possible. It's very possible. I drank a lot New Year's Eve, folks. I don't know. Shouldn't Omega wasn't Omega on there last night? No, it was a backstage thing with Omega last night. You're right. Smart, he might be being humped by his dog. He might still be recovering from New Year's Eve. Who knows? Smart doesn't drink much anymore. So maybe he drank New Year's Eve. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get into a little bit of wrestling news I have, folks. I don't have a lot. You know, since Dirk brought it up, the whole thing, I think it was Dirk that brought up it was Dirk brought up the whole Moxley thing. Look, a lot of people are not liking this Moxley thing. I'm enjoying it. I like it. I don't know why a lot of people aren't. And one of them that's not liking it is Bully Ray. Busted Open. Now, folks, if you don't listen to Busted Open, they're very pro WWE. Even a little kayfabe with WWE. They kind of join in with them on their kayfabe shit going on. So, Busted Open, it is what it is. But Bully Ray doesn't like the way the storyline is going. He actually criticized it, and here's what he said. He said, John Moxley is not a heel. I've said this over and over and over again. If anything, John Moxley is a babyface and should be a savior for AEW. Should he be the savior? Absolutely not. Well, you just contradicted yourself. The savior of AEW should be a homegrown AEW guy. Just like at the end of the day, who would have been the savior of ECW? Tommy Dreamer? He would have had the help of Terry Funk, but at the end of the day, Tommy Dreamer would have been the savior. What I saw the other night was a former WWE guy trying to take over AEW with his faction called the Death Riders. And then who came to the aid? Well, it was another former WWE guy with some other WWE guys to save the day. Well, if this is how your thinking goes, Bubba, let's be honest, no one gave a fuck about you in ECW. No one really gave a fuck about you or Devon until y'all came to WWE. Really, let's be honest here. So, that's one. Two, I mean, Moxley's been in AEW since day one. No, he's not a homegrown AEW guy. Name another homegrown AEW guy that should be the savior. Name me another. Orange Cassidy, y'all fucking trashed that one. That ain't gonna work. What? MJF? No, that ain't gonna fucking work. Who? I don't give a fuck where a guy worked before. That doesn't make him a WWE guy. I don't consider Moxley a WWE guy. He left. He didn't want to be there. He loves it here. I mean, I just think it's Darby. Again, why would anyone don't put shit on Darby. The guy could die in April. Don't put a fucking thing on him. Aaron Solo. You're just being funny now. You're just being a silly man, Norab. Don't even talk to me. You're just clowning around now, man. No. No. And like I said, Darby, I wouldn't put fleas on him. The guy could die. Jack Perry, where Jungle Boy, where the fuck has he been? Where'd he go? I lost him. I don't know where he went. He hasn't been around in a while. There's no one else. Osprey goes out there. He can't be the savior. Osprey goes out there and has 5-star fucking matches. I don't see the problem with this right now. And I think Bully Ray is one of the problems. You can't think of everyone as a former this guy or former this guy. Where are they working now? Where are they working now? Who are they loyal to now? Who is paying them now? I don't give a fuck where they came from. I think this storyline needs to just play out a little more. Folks, everyone bitched about the Ricochet storyline, and I saw praise yesterday for him. Oh, this is the Ricochet we were looking for. Well, quit shitting on it. And I mean, let it play out. Let's see what happens here. But Bully Ray is just another one of those guys, though, that they know, just like Bischoff, just like everyone else, they know trashing AEW puts money in their fucking pocket. So as long as everyone keeps jumping on board and doing it, they're going to be laughing their fucking way to the bank. So that's fine. They can. They're laughing all the way to the bank with your money, folks. Your subscriptions, your Patreons, your super chats, all of it. They're going to the bank. Norev, you said the Big Show in Luther. You gotta, yeah. Bully Ray, nothing but a former ACW guy, right? Former WWE guy, former TNA guy, former what? Former piece of shit? How's that, Bully Ray? Former piece of shit. We've heard stories. Former piece of shit. Let's leave it at that, folks. I don't know, folks. I don't have the problem with this storyline a lot of other people have, but I think when we start putting that shit out there like that, especially a big show like Busted Open, this is why people just decide to bitch and complain and piss and moan about AEW. Because Bully Ray doesn't like it. But Bully Ray will suck at it. CM Punk came out in a towel. It was hilarious. Oh, that was great stuff. Great stuff by CM Punk. Yeah. Oh, no, John Moxley, former WWE guy. I guess we could say Punk is a former ROH guy. Right? Not a WWE guy. So I just think this guy, that guy, former this, I just think it's all stupid. It's all a fucking waste, folks. All a fucking waste. I got to tell you, I think don't even talk about Excalibur. Take the fucking mask off. I think Moxley might be the one guy that doesn't end up back in WWE. I really do. I think he might not I think he might not go back. I don't think he cares about the fucking Hall of Fame, which I don't know why they would even put him in, even Dean Ambrose. I don't know why. Maybe if the Shield ever went in, he might go back for that. But I don't see him going back to WWE. I really don't. I just don't. I think he's very happy where he is. I think he likes the schedule. I think he likes what he's doing. So good for him. Good for him. So we got Raw coming up, starting on Netflix Monday, January 6th. The year's already flying by, folks. And by the way, last night was the first time AEW streamed on Max, and all I saw was complaints. Not legit ones, but complaints. One guy complained because his was in Spanish. Well, change your fucking settings. Change your fucking settings. But this is funny. No one's 100% sure how long Raw is going to be, because Belcher's not sure. No one's sure. We know it went back to 2 hours for a little while, a couple months ago. A lot of people are assuming it's going to be 3 hours. I'll tell you, folks, they may just go until they're done with what they do. They may not have a set time to go off the air. They don't have news to wait for. They don't have a show scheduled after them. This is their thing. 3 hours definitely is the rumor, Dirk, but Meltzer's not quite sure. Meltzer's not even totally sure. They're saying they think it's going to be 3 hours. It's the show's being allotted for 3 hours, but I mean, they can go the show, folks. If they want to go 3:15, why can't they? I'm sure there's something in the contract that says we can just go until it's going to be. I'm definitely going to watch the first show on Monday. I think a lot of people will. And you got to remember, folks, they don't have to go for those overseas deals anymore. They got it. They've got it with Netflix because every fucking country has Netflix. So this is pretty good for them. You already turn on Netflix. The front screen is already promoting it. Now, I know it depends on what you watch, but my front screen is already promoting the shit out of it up there with the movies. And I don't know, folks. It's going to be pretty interesting to watch, but it probably will be a 3-hour plus show. But no one's 100%. But speaking of AEW on Max, they have already uploaded a pretty good amount of stuff to Max. They've got already all their pay-per-views and Dynamite episodes from 2019. They've got every Dynamite episode from October 30th, 2024 onward, even up till last night's. So you can even rewatch from last night. So that is pretty good. But immediately, as of right on January 1st, they started putting their content on there. So, it's not that bad. They even got some AEW Darks that are going to be loaded up there and a few other shows that are going to be up there. But, folks, this is not a bad thing for them. It really isn't. This is actually a very good thing for them to be simulcasting is what they're doing. They're going to be on TBS, plus they're going to be on Max. So they're going to get more eyes. They are going to get more eyes on their product, which if they can keep it going like last night, I think it'll be a pretty good thing for them. I don't think it'll be a problem, to be honest with you. I think they're going to actually be do pretty well, to be honest with you. I think they're going to do pretty well on Max with you may not be able to find out exactly how many viewers they got, but that's all right. That won't be a problem. So anyway, folks, we've got a few former, as they say, WWE stars were backstage. And that's the headline, folks. Another former WWE superstar backstage at AEW World's End. Tyler Breeze was backstage, folks, also alongside AJ Francis, who, I mean, why didn't they put current TNA star up there? And Baron Corbin was also backstage. You know who I think out of these three would be the worst signing would be Baron Corbin. Maybe AJ Francis might be just as bad. But we haven't seen Tyler Breeze in a while. He took a break from in-ring competition back in after leaving WWE in 2021. He's had a few matches in 2023 and really hasn't done much in wrestling in 2024. Much at all. But I don't know if those guys were just hanging out, seeing old friends or what, but they were backstage. Now, folks, here's what I'm going to end the show on. And I know this isn't a long show, but again, I didn't think I was going to be sitting here by myself. But no, Rab wasn't backstage. Dirk, Rab was not backstage. Corbin would be like signing AJ Styles in 2016. No. AJ Styles has hair and is good in the ring, is liked by people. He might have a little problem with the gay community, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, folks, Ric Flair was actually scheduled for the first show coming up Saturday for AEW Collision. He was actually set to go on the show. It is taking place in Charlotte, North Carolina. And who else would be better for Charlotte, North Carolina than the Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair? But PW Insider has confirmed that Flair won't be making that any longer for undisclosed reasons. We haven't seen Flair since the Revolution pay-per-view back in March. And I don't know what, I mean, they haven't been promoting that drink, the Woo Energy drink. We knew that sort of fell through. AEW did terminate his contract, but I don't know. But they're going to be in the Bojangles Coliseum. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson will be there, folks. We all know I am a huge fan of Rock and Roll Express. I won't go through it, but that's how I was introduced to wrestling live, seeing those two guys. They're the reasons I watch wrestling. They're the reasons I love wrestling. But they got the Rock and Roll Express to fill in for Ric Flair on this show. Now, folks, I don't know if you know, but Flair was also asked if he's got one more match in him, and he said, hell yes. So cross your fingers that Flair is not going to have another match. And, you know, Steamboat would be a good one to have. He was from that Charlotte area too. It's possible they could have Ricky show up. They might not want to advertise it, but he could show up to do something. I would obviously love that. I'm a huge Steamboat fan too. He was my other all-time favorite of all time. All-time favorite of all time. He was. Ricky Steamboat, definitely a huge favorite of mine. I loved the character. I loved him in the ring. I liked everything about that character, folks. But that's really all I got in the wrestling world, folks, unless y'all got something in the chat room. I know there's not many people in there. There's only a few. But if you guys got anything you want to ask me, doesn't have to be wrestling. I don't care. I hope you guys did have a good New Year's Eve and a good New Year's Day. Weren't too hungover. I wasn't that bad. I was just chasing my shots with water. That's how old I am at this point. But I did have a good New Year, and I hope everybody else had a happy and safe New Year also. But if no one's got any questions in the chat, then I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap this up. There's no reason to keep anybody tonight. My favorite Hulk Hogan lie of all time. Wow. I got to think it's the Metallica one because they just came back like never happened. All of them never happened. The Metallica one is good. The ones where he even said he had all this input in the Rocky movie. That was a lie. Stallone said no. He's got, dude, it's hard to really narrow him down because he has so many. He has so many lies that I don't know. But the Metallica one was great because they were like, yeah, he never tried out. Ever. Thank you, true North Packers fan, for that. But they just shot that one right down. They've shot down a lot of things that Hogan has said. A lot of people have shot down a lot of things Hogan has said, but that one was shot down so fast it was just hilarious. Absolutely fucking hilarious. I love that one. What's shorter, the encyclopedia or the book of Hogan's lies? Man, now the encyclopedia, and I remember those are, you get a set of encyclopedias. Probably by a very small amount. The encyclopedia or the Hogan's Lies is a little shorter, just a little bit. Now, are we talking Hulk Hogan or are we talking Terry Bollea? Because Terry Bollea doesn't lie and doesn't have a 10-inch cock, as we found out from his court appearance. Hulk Hogan, though, lies and has a 10-inch cock. So I don't know. I mean, it's just the way of the world, folks. Weird stuff happens when you're two people, I guess. I don't know. I'm only one person. So have the dogs stop eating the pigs. No, they'll still go after my pigs. We need to we're getting rid of a couple, but we're going to fence in the rest. I need 100 pallets to do it. I need 100 pallets, 25 T-posts, and I can get my fence built. Then I got to hope it stays together. And they don't start rooting under it, which is what I'm worried they're going to do. If that doesn't work, they're all going to freezer camp. I don't know if anyone knows. That's what we call slaughtering. Freezer camp. They can be in my freezer. I could use some bacon. But the pigs I have are a little different. They're red meat pigs. The coonies is what they're called. They're red meat pigs. So I'll have tons of meat. Actually, me and the wife yesterday were talking about fattening some of them up in order to bring them to freezer camp. So we'll see what happens with that. All I know is I could use a couple 100+ pounds of meat in my freezer that would last me the winter. So we could go through that. But folks, once again, did you live anywhere other than Houston? I've never lived in Houston. I was born in Boston, grew up in Cary and Raleigh, North Carolina, from 6 to 16. And then 16 years old, I moved to Florida, where we mostly lived in Boca Raton. And then when I was 32, I moved here to Texas, and I've only been in the Dallas area. Now I'm out in East Texas, but that's really it. Never lived in Houston. Never even been to Houston. Wouldn't mind going. I hear it's pretty cool, but I've never lived in Houston. Sorry, Dirk. Never lived there. But I think that's it, folks. I think we'll go ahead and knock this out and get out of here. Folks, I appreciate everybody coming on in and joining me, especially when it's just me and I wasn't expecting it, or maybe I should have been. I don't even know. I don't know. But I hope this all worked out well, especially this little live stream thing. I wasn't sure how it was going to work. So it looks like I did all right. I've never used StreamYard before. I just kind of jumped on and started pushing buttons. Click, 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 clicking. You know what I mean? So anyway, folks, thanks everybody for coming on in here. And we will be back next week. I will be back with Hollywood Hangout this Saturday. I did come back last week for the last show of 2024 on Saturday night, actually, and talk some upcoming movies coming up this month. One, or actually throughout the year. One movie I'm looking forward to coming out this month, folks. I'll go ahead and share it. It's called Flight Plan, and it's a Mark Wahlberg movie where he's a hitman. He's not a good guy in this movie, so I am really interested in seeing this Mark Wahlberg movie. It really looks good. Takes place in a small aircraft. There's only 3 people really mostly in the movie, and it looks like a great movie. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but Flight Plan is one I'm looking forward to coming out. I think it was January 24th that comes out. Sorry, folks. But oh yeah, I saw the trailer. I watched a lot of trailers on the Saturday before I did the show. That one, Wolfman, I'm looking forward to seeing when that comes out. There were a few that I was really looking forward to seeing. But Flight Plan was definitely one I wanted to see. I can't think of the other ones. Might be able to bring that website back up. Hold on a second. Let me go in history. And I'll go back to Saturday. No. Hold on. Sunday, Saturday. We don't need all that. That's not it. That's not it. There we go. I think I went with this Rotten Tomatoes one. Yeah. Oh, and Better Man. The story about Robbie Williams. That looks fucking good. I know it looks a little weird because they portray him as a chimpanzee throughout the movie, but I think that looks like a great fucking movie and a great story that's going to be told in that movie. I'm definitely interested in seeing that. What else did I want? Den of Thieves 2. I need to watch the first Den of Thieves, but January 10th, that movie comes out. Yeah, Wolfman comes out the 17th. That looks good. January 24th. Yes. That Mark Wahlberg movie is actually directed by Mel Gibson. So should be good. What else looked good? Last Breath looked good. Movie Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, and Finn Cole. They're underwater. That looked really good coming out in February. Mickey 17 looks like a crazy movie coming out in March. I'll let y'all watch these trailers. Novocaine with Jack Quaid looked really interesting. That's another great movie coming out in March. Minecraft, if you want to see shit like that. Sinners coming out in April with Michael B. Jordan is going to be really good. Delroy Lindo is in that movie. Not a lot of information about that movie, but it looks great. The Mission Impossible movie looks good. I'm actually excited for the Karate Kid movie coming out in May with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio both in it. This is going to be the introduction to Ben Wang, who's playing the Karate Kid in this movie. And the other movie I'm looking forward to really is the Ballerina movie with the John Wick series. This movie looks amazing. They brought a lot of this ballerina stuff up in John Wick Chapter 3, and they're going to continue the story with this. Now, Keanu is in this movie. Ian McShane is in this movie. All the guys are in this movie. Angelica Houston. So they're all in this movie, folks, and it's going to be a good one. F1, Brad Pitt looks like another good movie. The Superman movie I did see, the James Gunn movie, coming out July 11th. Smurfs has a movie coming out. Fantastic Four has one. There's another Saw coming out this year, also coming out in September. The new Tron coming out looks fucking awesome also. But there are some really good movies coming out in 2025. I'm planning on watching a lot more because I did not do very well in 2024. So, all right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. I appreciate y'all keeping me a little longer here in the chat room. I really do appreciate that. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. I appreciate everybody coming in. I want this to be a great 2025. Hopefully we can grow this show a little bit. I don't need to grow huge, but maybe a little bit. A few more listeners, a few more viewers. That'd be great. But I appreciate everybody coming in. I appreciate everybody dealing with just me by myself. And yeah, here's to 2025, folks. Enjoy. Me and Smark will be back next Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And that's about it, folks. I will be back. Hollywood Hangout, .mixler.com. You can check me out right there on a Saturday night, same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And there you go, folks. Enjoy. Have a great evening, and I will get this posted tomorrow. But anyway, thanks everybody, and we will see you next week. See ya.